Hello, today is the 99 portal day. It's actually 999 portal because 2025 is year 9. If you combine the digits, you will get number 9. So this is a very special portal, and I'm doing portal readings on a monthly basis anyway. So today I want us to dedicate this reading to the portal and see how this energy plays out for the light workers and specifically for Twin Flame Collective, but I won't be making emphasis on the masculine, the feminine today. It's going to be more about energy in general. What are we dealing with, and what is this portal allowing us to achieve, to unlock, or maybe even to complete and leave behind? Because as many of you already know, I'm sure number 9 is that number of completion, especially in tarot, right? It's like, or generally numerology, because we're usually talking if we're talking like pretty much everything in numerology comes down, any big numbers come down to numbers between 1 and 9, right? So essentially we're not like number 10 is still a 1. Yes, it's a kind of next level from 1, but that's when we're going with 1, 2, 3 again, right? So year number 9 is like that highest numerological rank that we can have, and that means that this is a number that completes the cycle. It completes certain opportunities that maybe haven't been taken advantage of, and it also completes certain karmic patterns that have been heavy, that have needed attention, that have brought certain struggle to our lives, right? So let's see what we have here. And before I get into tarot, I want to get an oracle message, of course, and today is going to be the angel therapy deck, so we'll get some piece of advice for us. So it's not going to be, this reading is not separately feminine masculine, it's for the collective. That's how I feel is necessary to do this reading, so I'm going to proceed with this. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. We're also in the middle, just a reminder, in the middle of, well, maybe not in the middle, but kind of. We're in the eclipse season now, officially in its active phase. So that's another portal. And eclipse season definitely amplifies the energy of anything else that happens in our reality. So make of it what you will. For me, 9/9 is a special date. I'm not gonna get into it right now, but yeah, something pretty significant happened to me on the 9/9 last year. And today being that anniversary, kind of like it completes a certain milestone, but also, luckily for me, encourages me to take action into a certain direction. So we'll just get a couple of cards for the collective of what do we need to know and what is the advice from the spirit, from the guides, from the universe at this moment. The first card is Ascended Masters. So this card reminds us that Ascended Masters are around us. And I love when this specific notion is brought up, because it emphasizes that it's not about a specific religion, a specific culture, or even a specific master. It's also a community, right? So it's not a competition, it's not a battle, it's not like, yes, I believe in this, I don't believe in this. This is like all the community, they all coexist together here. Powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over and guiding you. Beautiful. So never forget that you are being guided. Whatever you're going through is part of that guidance, right? And if you don't hear the guidance anymore, if you don't necessarily read the messages, you can ask those Ascended Masters more proactively to give you a sign, to give you a message, to support you at this moment in time. The other card is Solar Plexus Chakra. Yeah, that's that courage, that's that bravery. It is safe for you to be powerful and take charge of your life in positive ways. I love it. I was actually just doing quite recently a little confidence challenge, and I got interested because it is something that a lot of people are struggling with, and it seems on the one hand so obvious, right? And it's of course connected with the sense of self-worth. But on the other hand, I haven't really seen too many resources on how to work with it. So it was a really interesting observation. And as I was either reading through some tasks that were provided or listening to people talk about their experience and specific cases, where they've struggled, I realized how much of that theme I'm still about to go through, to get to the next level and the next level and the next level. Although I've already done a lot of work, right? But this is that part where it's like there are definitely layers to it, and we're opening them with new cycles. So then don't get discouraged if you find yourself not so strong or not so brave at this moment to take that leap, to go for what ignites your passion, what deep down you're supposed to be doing right now. It's fine. And you can also ask your higher power, you can ask the Ascended Masters for some help and support with that. So the way I'm gonna do the tarot reading is I'm gonna focus, actually I'm gonna do it with the Thelema deck. Yes, I still don't have a lot of decks with me, but I'm hoping to, well, actually I have a few more decks that will be available to me just days from here. Probably around this weekend there will be new decks. But also, yeah, maybe I'll also find some of my other decks that are not in rotation this summer. We'll see. So yeah, I'll use Thelema deck. This will be a 9-card reading, 9-card spread with 3 questions. The first question is gonna be, what kind of cycles are we completing with this 999 portal that we should be aware of? The second one is, what can we heal at this moment during this portal? And the third is, what are the opportunities that are being opened to us and new stories that we can tell with the help of this portal? All right. So the first one is the comics, the cycles that we're completing, right? Because it's the 9 and the Fool. I'll lay out the cards, then I'll speak to it. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting, that's the same colors. And at Ace of Wands, that's that solar plexus chakra. I love it. Then the second question was, what kind of cycles are we completing? Oh, sorry, this was this. The second question was, what do we have an opportunity to heal during this time? The Hanged Man. I'm hearing immediately wanting to know too much. It's fun. 3 of Wands. And the Sun, look at that. Wow. And then what kind of opportunities are arriving at our door? What can we begin doing, or what can we pursue? 5 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, and Knight of Pentacles. All right, bottom of the deck, 10 of Wands. Yeah, that's another ending, right? That's the ending in Tarot Minor Arcana Suite. So essentially, endings are bittersweet, but also it's a cliche expression that endings are new beginnings, but that is what it is. And we are stepping into the fall season, which, by the way, kicks in a couple of weeks from now. And we're going to be talking a lot more about change of season, about this concept of death, partly because of nature going to sleep and, looking at trees dying out, meaning losing their leaves, right? Like there is that almost like smell in the air, right, of the nature from where it was in summer, all this greenery kind of dying out, transforming into something completely different. Of course, we'll also be talking about it because of Halloween, Day of the Dead, and related traditions in different cultures, right? So the Samhain in Ireland, right, in Celtic tradition, and so on and so forth. This is like this season. Also, the season where we're going to be talking a lot more about doing ancestry work and lineage work. It's a very powerful time for it. But the truth is that, yeah, it's like these transformations, they're not comfortable for us mentally, because our brain knows that now it's like something new is gonna come in. Not necessarily a bad thing, but still, whatever that is, I'll need to start adjusting it. I'll need to spend a lot of energy on figuring it out and coping with it one way or another, right? Like finding that rhythm, understanding how to coexist with this new reality. And that's very uncomfortable. But essentially, that's how we grow, right? And if you think about it, the main confirmation of your growth and of being successful on the spiritual path is the change, is moving to a different phase, is leaving certain things behind, even maybe certain habits, certain activities that used to be an integral part of your life behind. Think about that. All right, so the cycles that are closing. What kind of cycles are closing right now? So we see the full Three of Pentacles in reverse and Ace of Wands. This is the cycle where there was some reckless energy, where we would maybe like make a decision without putting much thought in it, but also without asking anyone for help. Just being overconfident in terms of like, yeah, I can do anything. I'm just gonna go for it, right? And then essentially getting a bump on your head because it blows up in your face, right? Like having that ego machismo like energy of like, yeah, I'll be fine, I'll do everything on my own, right? I don't know how it's done, never done it before, but I'll be great, right? So we're closing that cycle where there was such a strong desire to, it's like a daredevil energy, to test the boundaries, to push yourself, to impress the public with how brave you are, how unapologetic you are, you know, how ambitious you are. That a lot of times there was a misread of a situation, of what is it asking you to do. There was neglect of people who can help you, support you to get you to be successful, right? It was like a matter of principle that I do it all on my own. But now it's left behind, and this Ace of Wands energy is becoming more integrated. It was like, it's great to have that spark and to be excited, right? But then you also need, this is like the fire element. That's why you also need other elements to bring them together and make this a tasty recipe that will work out, right? Not just burn quickly. Like when you light up a match, right? It burns bright, but only for a few seconds. All right, I've gotten a few cards. Let's see what we have for, for the second question. So the second question was, what do we have an ability to heal during this time? And we have the Hangman, Three of Wands, and the Sun. We have an ability to heal our detachment from the community around us and from the reality that's around us. Even with the Sun card, look at it. There are two kids here enjoying the sunshine, enjoying a nice summer day, having fun together, right? It's like this joy, because we are social creatures, whether we like to admit it or not. It's important for us to find, not even to find our people, but to be connected to a community. And it may look very, very differently for each of us. But nonetheless, there is that concept of, you know, I want to be part of this soul family that supports me and I can support them. And what I advise you to do, what comes to me with these cards is, don't think about community or family, whatever other groups you may be thinking of, in the conventional terms or exactly the way that you've experienced them before. Like, let's say a family, right? Like there's something that blocks you from creating a family of your own because of how you've experienced family when you were younger, in your own family, when you were a kid, right? This is an example, but this illustrates what I'm talking about. And yeah, some of us resist building a family in this scenario subconsciously, but that's the part, right? To bring it to the conscious, be able to heal it. So we don't get hung up on the specific template of like, yeah, I never want that in my life. Like that other person who's gonna be draining my energy, taking advantage of me, treating me like nobody. I don't want that in my life, right? Or there is a fear that, you're gonna be hurt. But it's not a good enough reason to resist it, to block yourself from it. And if family is not on the table right now, but you're thinking something else, it could be a community on like at work with co-workers or clients if you're an entrepreneur. It could be a community of other people who have the same interests and hobbies than you do, right? Even if we are light workers here, even community of light workers. It is important to have your people in this group too. People that you can connect to on the regular basis, people that you can be vulnerable with, where you can talk about your gifts and your challenges, what you're going through every day and how you're moving on with it, exchanging successes and failures, learning from each other. It's very important. So it's important to heal the concept of community, and however maybe twisted it was for you, for a good reason. I'm not saying that you're making it up, right? It's important to be able to detach from it and build from scratch. What is important to you? What does it look like? Especially if you have some kind of examples that you've seen in your life where this can be very different. Take it in, at least to take it in, to allow yourself to see the possibilities that are different from what you've lived through yourself. And then finally, the third question was about opportunities in building something new and creating something different. And yes, we started off with 5 of Cups, which is a little bizarre, but then we have Ace of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles. Yes, our sorrows become our building blocks for the new reality. Our disappointments, our mistakes, they inform us what we want, right? We've seen where we struggled, what we don't want, or where it looked like a shiny reality, but it was so thorny and painful at the end, right? Now we have a much better idea. What is it that we want to build? What's important to us and why? And yes, it may take a minute to build it all, or, like imagine if you're building a house from scratch. Like there's so much that's going into it. And especially if you don't have like a ton of people helping you, it's gonna take a while. And let's say even you have contractors who are actually doing the work physically. Planning, doing all the licenses, investing money, building all the different phases of the house, then doing the decoration inside, getting all the furniture, all the supplies, everything that you need for it. That's a massive amount of work, right? And if you're creating your reality in that way, your kingdom, your world, it will also take a minute. It doesn't all have to be resolved and decided on in one day, right? But as long as you're making progress, that's key to it. And as long as every decision, well, not every might be a little dramatic, but decisions that you're making on a daily basis contribute to that picture. That's like a jackpot, that's a day well lived, that you're getting yourself closer to it. And it's not always going to be slow, it's not always going to be small, it's going to have some leaps. It's going to go a bit up and down, but that's part of the wonder of this journey. So you are creating your world. You need to see it that way. And don't create it with reflection on the mistakes. Create it from what is it that you want, that you love, that's important to you. Not out of fear, but out of love. I hope this was good for you guys. I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for being with me. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel if you're new. Of course, you can order a personal reading. And until next time,